and welcome to, of course, Lyca Radio's YouTube channel. My name is Vallisa and I'm from the Lyca Breakfast Show, and today I'm joined by Pip and Nick. I love how that rhymes, by the way, from Enkama. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good,
Thank you for having us.
Welcome to Lyca Radio. Now, actually, I've known of you guys for 13 years. And in fact, not that Nick remembers, but I met you back in Vancouver in 2012. We've actually been in touch since then.
We've been in touch, yeah.
But I changed my name, we won't talk about that. And that's probably why. But how have you guys been?
Absolutely great. Enjoying the weather here, as you can see.
Yeah, suntan in here. No, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Just letting you know, this is currently January and we're having the coldest weather in the UK, so I don't know what they're talking about. And they're from Vancouver, so that's probably why they're okay with it. Now, you're a North American Bhangra band. How did this come about?
We've always been in music for a long time. Myself and Pip, we've been playing with all the bands in England, from Malky to Upnasgi to China and everybody. Pip moved to Canada.
I moved. I
like
was
25 years ago. And then I joined him 20 years after that, kind of thing. 5 years after that. And then from there, we just came together, like, okay, let's just start something.
We just started kind of practicing, and
that was it.
a lot of the bands, singers that were coming into Vancouver or Canada, North America, they started booking us as session players. And so we'd get together, and they liked our UK sound. And then some of the singers, they couldn't come in early enough, so we had to get a replacement to kind of sing their songs so we can practice. And that was our lead singer, Indakuna. From there, you know, we got a really good vibe. Dona Gina came out, then the Bullier came out, and here we are, still at it.
And you bring a different vibe with Enkama, and I love that you stand by that Bob Marley quote, which says, music knows no race or religion, which is truly something I believe in. And how easy or hard was it for you guys to break into that scene back in like 2007, 2008?
I think for us, it was quite easy for us.
It kind of came to us, to be honest.
We got lucky. For us, we just kind of jammed along, came with a song that sounded good to us. We went to a studio, whacked it out, and then the response of that Dona Gina was just huge. We just put it out. Social media wasn't big those days. No. It was the good old fashion of sending out a press release to everybody, sent it out, and basically it just blew for us. Being like the only fresh band around that time, especially with the UK scene, we embraced it very faster than we actually thought. And then basically from there, Enkama just took off for the first year.
And I think one advantage that we had was a lot of the musicians there are from India. Brilliant musicians, don't get it wrong, but we've come with a different style and a different vibe, and people just caught on to that. And they haven't let go, and it's just carried on for us. So that's a boom for us right now. Yeah.
And you don't just perform at Indian festivals. In fact, I was just telling you guys that when I came to Vancouver, I actually saw you at a completely different music festival with a mix of different genres and variations. And you guys do that a lot. So tell me a little bit about this journey and how you get into those festivals rather than just the
That was actually, pre-tense. We actually decided that we didn't want to just be a wedding band. Down there it's very multicultural, and people loved our sound. So we're rated as a world music band down there. So we do some of the biggest festivals all around North America. And we decided just to dominate that area. So we're the only live Bhangra band out there. So we've been, I think this year alone, just in the summer we've done 23 shows. So we're consistently going. And I don't think people here from the UK have seen that, it kind of said that Enkama's come back. Nah, we've been going full force. I said, dominate your backyard, which we have. Now this is our roots down here, and now we're out, so we are promoting Punjabi Asian music to everybody else out there. That's our primary what we do in festivals.
And I imagine that kind of works for you because there's a lot of like Canadian Bhangra music that comes out of Toronto and Canada, and they need bands. Like if they're booked to perform somewhere, they need a band, and like you said, you're kind of the only ones out there. So then you're around all the time, whereas they would have to fly people in from other places otherwise.
Correct. And surprisingly, we can actually play too. That helps us.
Since you first started, you must have seen a major change in the industry. So what are kind of the things that you think have changed since then?
I think the biggest thing was the social media thing. Because when we first started off, the social media wasn't so big. It's been a learning curve for us, but it's been wicked for us. Social media, I would say, was the biggest thing. And then basically the moving away from record labels to independent artists. We worked with a lot of big record labels, T-Series, Speed Records, Movie Box in the UK and stuff. But there was a big shift to going independent. And for us guys, we thought, okay, time to go independent.
Another big shift was from the live music scene from when we were kids here. I grew up playing with Mulkey from all that era, from up to electronic, where it's moved on to more hip hop, more. We've stuck to our live rock roots, Bhangra roots that came from here, and that's now evolving down there for us. So it has changed, but we've stuck to that big Bhangra sound that's come from the UK, and that's unique for us. So I think that's really helped us too. Even though you got the hip hop and everything that's come in, which is absolutely brilliant, but we've stuck to that, and I think that's worked for us. So.
And talking about social media, things like Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, do you think that's changed the way you can now connect with your audiences as well, and made it easier for you to connect with audiences?
100%, yeah. The music is out there faster, the music is available to everybody faster. We don't need to wait for record labels and this and that, which we have had experiences in the past, so to speak. But now it's available to us straight away, and we can just put our music out faster. So
It also creates a lot of competition that keeps us on our toes, being unique and being what we do. So, no, it has changed, but it's good, really good.
And although there has always been a rich Bhangra culture in like Birmingham, Toronto, Vancouver, and beyond really, and there's people like Alap, Hira, Safri Boys, DCS, all these big names, but North America and Canada more as well, I feel have this major influence on the Bhangra scene. So you've got things like yourselves, Jazzy B, The Prophecy, Roach Killer, Blitz, Deep Jandu, Harbhajan Man, like so many names come from there. Why do you think that is?
If you think about it, I mean, back in the day, like the Jazzy B, one of the biggest artists, Harbhajan Man, look at it now. Karnoja was from our sides. Sidhu Moosewala, rest in peace, he was from our sides. AP Dillon, so it's massive.
And now you got Sheriban there, you got who else?
The whole hub now is kind of like I said, every big artist is now moving there. The Shut the Girls there, Sheriban, you name it, everybody's there.
I feel like there's something to do with this Canadian water, like they come there and suddenly their voice comes out with like music and they start playing music and they're like,
all the tequila's better than tea.
It's a bit like me when I went to visit him, and as soon as I went to visit him, I'm like, wow, now I know why he's here. And I think the same with the indie artists now as well. I think they're now knowing that Vancouver is such a beautiful place, Canada's such a beautiful place, and everybody's moving there. Babu Man's moving there,
And Canada's also very open to having people move over. Like we mentioned, like people like AP Dillon and stuff who have come from India. It's a lot easier for them to go there than say other places. And there's a hub. There's a hub for their music still.
100%.
And what we had experienced here, where the younger generation had totally caught on. You know, grew up as kids, Sahotas and all these, guys, they are grabbing onto that there now. The youngsters are. So we've got to see two spectrums of it, where we were in the hub at the beginning here in the 90s, and now we're there where it's just evolving now, and it's taking we can't keep up. So it's a good problem to have.
And it must be interesting to watch like the younger audiences, and I know this is a lot to do with like Instagram and Reels and TikToks and stuff, but seeing the younger audience still dancing and singing to those older tracks that you guys are probably thinking, well, they just came out when we were young, and now these like 18-year-olds are dancing along and singing.
And it's really, really good to see that. Our culture's been promoted out there, and it's really, really good.
And of course, there are some major artists emerging from parts of India as well, like people like Guru Randhawa, Badshah. But there's a significant difference in the sound between those coming out of India and those coming out of Canada. What would you say, in your own words, explains that sound?
I think Canada's known for the hip hop vibe. You got the Tupac and those guys from West, East and West and stuff. So I think Canada has that hip hop vibe, the trap vibe that now the world is wanting. And that's, if you look at it, where did all this hip hop music kind of start from? It came from the likes of Eli Manga to Sidhu Moosewala, Deep Jandu, that crew there. So from there, DJ Intense and those guys. And I think that's where hip hop trap music started from, and now it's taken over. Now, if you look at it, the whole music industry is based on hip hop and trap.
Yeah.
And those beats, so that's definitely a North American thing.
And actually, with these new artists emerging, it's changed the scenes. How do you see your guys, and I'm not calling you old at all, but how do you see bands like yourself still fitting into that sound?
It's even like the rock bands you've got, the old UB40s going on, you've got Metallica, they're always going to have a place. And I think what comes with us is that we've got something that's unique. We're born in the UK, we've got that in us, but we've also evolved with the new style, and there's not many people that are able to do both. And we've got that in us, so it's kind of an advantage. So for us, we've got a special place, and especially now with the festival scene, they want live, full live.
Yeah.
you know, they want a full drum kit, they want everything, not backing track. So we're able to fit that category, and it's unique. So we ain't going anywhere old, whatever it is. We can't be around.
Who's
Did
old?
you-
Who's old? Who's old?
Did you feel that you had to change any parts of your sound to be able to now fit into that, or is it that you're
No,
still
I
performing?
change the sound, but don't change your style.
Yeah.
You know, some of the synths may change, some of the bass, but the general, you know, of what our grooves on or what our bass
That's the
is,
same.
no. So the sounds could change, but not our style, I should say. Yeah.
And let's talk about the latest track. So 2 long years you've been gigging. It's not like you've gone anywhere, but you've come back with this song called Tere Te Marda with Haj Nagra.
Yep.
And tell me a little bit about this song.
Wow. Inder Kuna wrote it, our singer, and him and many several of our friends up in Vancouver. He wrote the song. This is like a side project that we thought, okay, we've done the Inkama side, we thought we would branch out. We've worked with here in the past, we've worked with other people, we've got another track with here now as well. And like Haj Nagra is one of our homeboys, we've always been hanging out together. Anytime Jazzy Beat Budgies around, Haj is around. So we've always been bashing heads. And then Inder and Haj decided, okay, let's just bash something. I was like, okay, let's just try something different. And then we liked what he did. The kid's got some fresh vibes on him. He's fresh. He's good at what he does. And he's one of the young producers of this day and age. And he did a good job. We've got like 4 or 5 songs done with him.
And we have collaboration.
everything-
There's so much talent there.
Yeah.
You know, like we've got artists like, you know, Dil Monkey Boy still books us. With them, Jazzy B books us. We play now, we're with Sukshan Nashida Boy, Miss Pooja. So they were collaborating. And I said, oh, we want the local guys, and they enjoy what we do. And there's going to be a lot more coming up too. So that's where this came about. Yeah.
And where you said, like, you know, through the summer you were on like 23, 24 gigs. What made you decide to get back into the studio? Was it just one of those organic things where you were just hanging out, it sort of worked, and you're like, right now we're
I
gonna
think
come
we're
back?
all in the studios.
We're always
bashing ideas. We've got like a WhatsApp group between us, and there's constant messages going back and forth. Oh, look at this beat I've made. Oh, these are the lyrics we've come up with. And oh, Nick, try this groove and this and that. So we were constantly bashing ideas back and forth. So the ideas always generated. But then we actually we're busy gigging thing, and then we're like, okay, let's just step back a bit. Let's just focus on our music now for a bit.
Yeah.
So we've got all our stuff lined up. We've got a whole lot of videos, 5-6 videos lined up.
Yeah, we've got 6 videos, 11 tracks already.
Yeah, so we've got a lot
Ready?
of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got 11 more in the works. So, yeah.
Because I guess it's a whole package you've got to put together. It's not about like, okay, we've made a track, brilliant. Because you've got to think about the video, you've got to think about how you still got to think about how you're going to release
Right.
it. It might not be down to just press releases as much anymore,
Yep.
but you need to kind of follow it through, right? You need to think of all the
Mhm.
package before. And then again, if you've not been releasing things for 2 years, you sort of don't want to just drop a track and be like, okay, that's
No,
it.
that's not the
you want to
case,
have
yeah.
something ready and
100%,
planned.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, being an independent artist, we now have the full control of what we want to do. It's up to us what we want to release, when we want to release it. So I think now we're at the stage where, we had songs in the past that were ready, and it was like easiest dropping them out, but then we would have been out gigging for X amount of time
Yeah.
and not have anything to follow up with. So we purposely sat back and said, look, okay, let's just save everything in one go until we are ready and everything's cleared off our calendars and stuff. And then we thought, okay, now we've got time to map out and release music consistently.
Do you sort of have a plan of when you're going to release other tracks, or is
Mm-hmm.
it more like also, oh, actually this song's come out and that vibe is working and we've got something that could work alongside that, let's get that
And
out
that's
now.
exactly it. Like we've got a portfolio of 11 songs, 6 videos already, and like we've got kind of an agenda. So we've got something that coming out every month. But again, seeing what's going on, and Nick's our main producer, so we can kind of see what we can, and we've got a variety now.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to getting out and get back into it, especially here. being from now.
I feel like in the past, this sounds a bit silly, I think, actually, but in the past, there was more competition than there is now because there seems to be more of an aptitude for music and there's more space for it. So, like I said, if someone releases a song, instead of thinking, oh no, we better pull our song back because that sounds very similar or something, you're more actually thinking, right, the listeners are loving this, the crowd is loving this, it's going to work, let's drop it now because it works with whoever. I'm not going to name names, it could work with someone else's song, that in a club, those two songs side by side would sound better, rather than thinking, oh well, we can't, our song's gonna get sort of diluted.
Yeah. And I think for us, we're a live band, it's different. For us, we release the music to show our versatility, but But our main aim is to be on stage and show what we can do live. And we want to promote this to our new generation too. There's not many of us around doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it. So for we wouldn't say that something's coming out, we have to wait, or we just do what we feel.
And I've been told that this video, now I haven't seen it yet, but is very picturesque. So explain the video a little bit to me and the viewers.
There's a place called Abbotsford. Is that how to explain it? There's a place called Abbotsford, just outside Vancouver sites. Beautiful area. That's where Indicun lives. We were fortunate enough to get onto a airstrip. So that we had the full advantage of an airstrip, airplanes and everything. And we were lucky because it was winter. We've got the mountains behind us. Is it Mount Baker?
Yeah, all the
mountains behind us, and it's beautiful snow in the mountains, and so it was just a beautiful.
And it worked out the way it did, yeah. We got
it's a
two
beautiful
to do the
video.
video for us. Great guys, and they were able to get us at the airport, basically, yeah.
It's amazing because I've, like I said, been to Vancouver. I know how beautiful it is. That's the one advantage you guys have of being able to shoot videos without having to go too far out. Because there was the park there that I remember, and even that overlooking the city.
Stanley Park.
That's it. It was so nice there. It was cold but nice.
I think anywhere in Vancouver, you go, anywhere in Canada you go, it's beautiful. Like I said, I went there 20 years ago just to visit him, and I ended up staying there. And even with us, every time we go anywhere, we're spending more time going, wow, look at that.
Time, yeah,
Wow.
it's beautiful out there.
We're constantly doing that. So,
And on that note, even talking about the beauty there, each one of our videos on purpose is done to show the beauty out there. One of ours, you'll see, we call it a party truck. We're actually on a high rise, on top, seeing all of downtown Vancouver. I've done that on purpose, where people travel out. We're so lucky that being unique out there, we've got everything in our backyard there, and we're going to show that out here. Yeah.
There's only one thing more I'd want to see. My uncle went to the Rockies just now in the summer.
Okay.
I didn't go. I think you guys need to do a video on the train so I can feel that I'm there.
I've thought about that.
Sure. So in the video, I'm actually flying the plane.
Wow!
All right. So next time I'll get a train to.
And then call me. I'll come and be in your video. I won't charge you at all.
No problem.
So you worked with a lot of artists before. Is there anyone that you're now working with that maybe you haven't worked with before?
We've worked with everybody. No, but being in the music scene, as kids, touring, I played with nearly every. Yeah.
It would be cool maybe to jam with the newer kids nowadays.
I was gonna say.
As AP does, maybe go and talk with those guys. Current Oja, we were talking with Current Oja, but stuff never worked out back in the day. But it'd be cool to jump on stage with those guys. But for us guys, we're busy with our stuff. We focus on the people like Jazzy B, and Jazzy B parties with us all the time. Any gigs he has in North America, I think, is always calling us. But yeah, maybe the new kids will be kind of cool to jam with those guys.
I think now that we're going to have tracks coming out, again, we love collaborating. Sharing our music. Things are going to open arms to working with anybody and anybody, that's got talent and that's got love for the music. So absolutely.
So there you go. Anyone watching this who is looking for music production and live band, I've got you guys covered. And Lyca Radio is obviously out on the 18th of Jan. So where can people find it when they want to listen to it?
As we mentioned, Instagram.
Cut that. It's actually not 18th of January now, isn't it? So you have to.
Shall we just stick to 18th for now?
But it's not
Or should I just say it's out soon?
Out soon.
Do that.
Let
What
me
we
just
found out? I
repeat
think
it.
it might be the week after. So that's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, because the press release said
That's
it.
right, yeah.
So Lyca Radio is actually out soon. Where can people find it when it does release? Because of course we'll mention it on the radio as well.
It'll be available on YouTube as always. YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify.
Or you can call Nick directly. He will email each one of you directly. Yeah.
He won't remember you if you met him 12 years ago, but he'll send it to
And the
you.
worst memories.
He won't remember us in 12 minutes.
I mean, I'm not going to feel bad about it. I did message him when there was something going on in Vancouver, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he messaged back saying, "Yes, everything's fine here."
But who are you?
But it's fine. It's
You can't
fine.
deny it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us here at
Thank
Lyca Radio,
you,
and we
Vallisa.
look forward to seeing what you're bringing us in 2024.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.